Hey everyone, let's learn the basics of Minitab, spreadsheet software that's actually nicer and easier to use than Excel. So first off, go to your favorite browser and just type in Minitab Online Salisbury. Choose the first option. Choose either one of those links. You'll need to enter your email, your school email and password. Maybe once or twice, just because you're opening this program through Salisbury, but it should work. So this is the program. Let's download some data. So one place I like to go is fangraphs.com. Not just because I'm a baseball fan, but because they've got lots of nicely organized charts chock full of data. So I went ahead and just chose the leaders of 2023. Unfortunately, you need to be a member to export the data, but if we make the page size big enough, then we should be able to manually select the data. And this can be a little fussy with an iPad. With a PC, it's not a problem. I'm going to go ahead and just manually select all this data. And one thing is, spreadsheet software can be a bit fussy with exactly how you select it. So you need to get it just right, but that looks pretty good to me. So now let's go back to Minitab, right? You saw I copied it, and then if you press and hold the cell, it should let us paste, and voila, there we go. Now, by the way, it will prompt you to save, and you know, we're not going to save this, but I do recommend saving your stuff, right? Call it something else. Now, let's suppose that we're interested in batting averages, right? So if we go up, we see that batting averages is the AVG, right? The first number is 337. In case you're wondering why I didn't just copy over the label, it doesn't work so nicely copying over to Minitab. Kind of annoying, but it just doesn't. So let's call this AVG, so we know that that's the average column, right? And suppose we want to know all the basic statistics about it, right? And maybe some graphs and stuff. So first thing, Minitab is really nice at quickly making graphs. So for example, histograms, right? Just okay. The one thing is you do need to select the column, right? So you select it, press select, or you can double click it, and then you just press OK. And look at that. We didn't even need to think about anything. We didn't need to decide the class width. We didn't need to decide the number of classes. Minitab did all that for us. Dot plot is just as easy. Again, we do need to select the data set, but then we're done. Right? Super easy. Stem and leaf, right? Stem plot, if you will, right? Again, same sort of thing, right? By the way, ignore the leftmost entry in the stem and leaf plot. That's a cumulative running total of the number of entries that you have. But if you just look, if you zoom in a little bit, like the 1978, 209, right? Those are this is the stem, right? Like the middle thing is the stem, and then the right thing are the leaves. Okay, just to be clear about that. Okay. So those are the graphs you can do, right? And again, it took no time at all. You can do a bar chart or a pie chart, blah blah blah. You can do a box plot, right? Again, just simple stuff. If you learned what a box plot is, again, we do have to select it. And if you're not familiar with what a box plot is, you'll learn soon enough. It has to do with the median and the interquartile range. Okay, but see, look, it gives you a nice, beautiful box plot. Okay. Meanwhile, you might be thinking, what about the basic statistics like mean, median, mode, standard deviation, especially? I don't want to calculate that by hand. Well, good news, you don't have to. Stat, basic stats. Here, now again, we want to select the column that we're interested in. And by the way, you could select multiple columns if you wanted, but for right now, we're just going to do this one. Now here, I will click on statistics, right, because we don't actually care about the standard error or this missing nonsense. But suppose that we are interested in the mean and the standard deviation and the range and the median and the, first and third quartiles, right? Hopefully those are all terms that we're aware of, all right? And maybe we even care about the interquartile range, right? Suppose we care about that. We just press OK, and then we're done. And look at that. We get all of that stuff, right? We didn't even need to do anything. Now, Keep in mind, it goes out a couple decimal places, but that's pretty much what we're used to doing, right? So if you ever see a quiz or exam problem or a homework problem, they ask you to calculate the mean or median or standard deviation, right? Well, here you go. Just do this, okay?